What's up, college football fans? Sonoy Valente here with the Mean Green Show, and I'm joined here once again with Miles, better known as the host of the UNT6. Miles, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad I have a little bit of power right now. But yeah,
Yeah,
doing pretty good. Dude, a
absolutely.
little cold here, but
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I know you and I were trying to hop on and a little bit earlier, trying to go and try to go over the things that going on with North Texas, but we've been pretty limited with our resources and whatnot. So, before we get into that, guys, though, make sure if you're a fan of college football recruiting, G5 football, and of course the transfer portal, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know what you think about what we say today in the comments down below. All that stuff helps the channel grow, and we just love to hear from you guys as well. So, man, we kind of, I know it's not really new news now, but we haven't really had the opportunity to touch on, the things that have transpired last time, we did a State of the North episode 3. And, just kind of teeing off here, with the hiring of cornerback coach Jared Hawley and D-line coach Matt Passwaters. What are your thoughts on those hires?
when I first saw it, it was a little interesting. Holly was a defensive player at Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
at the University of Pittsburgh, I guess what you call it. But he
Yeah.
was he was a really good player. He's up and coming. He was at University of Albany. I think he's a great hire. I think it's like
Hmm.
a stepping stone in his coaching career. Some people are a little cautious, but I was like, I think this is going to work out pretty well
Yeah.
because he has a talent at cornerback. He has a lot of experience with the players. I think he'll be fine. And then Passwaters, that was a little more interesting one. I think he was a graduate assistant at Hawaii, and
Hmm.
then also at New Mexico State. That one kind of scared me a little bit because
It's
I
a little
don't
bit of an
know.
unknown. Yeah.
It's very unknown. I just felt like Holly was a more of a better experiment. Now, of course, this all could change, and I hope all of them do well. But I don't know how his hiring might work. I hope it's fine. And
Right.
he has Noville as the anchor for
Hmm.
next year, and he has the Murphy brothers, and he has all of them. He's
Yeah.
really a lot of
Vontae, yeah.
talent,
Oh, yeah.
but I think I just don't know. It's really hard to tell, but I'm excited though. I'm excited to see because these guys are ready, and I hope
Right.
we can exploit their talent with Coach Bennett's system.
Yeah, and kind of touching on a little bit on Coach Bennett and later news with him. So, do you happen to know what his salary is going to be? I think that came out somewhere. I missed it, but
Bennett's
yes,
it's I
Bill Bennett.
think
Yeah.
it was around like 350,000 from what I've seen. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's still highest in the conference
Okay.
because last year Bowen, I'm almost 100% sure, was the highest paid assistant coach in the conference. So that's probably going to be the same thing. And
Yeah.
unless FAU or someone else hires someone and pays them a little bit more, it's
Sure.
most likely going to be him as the number one.
Yeah. So safe to say one or two. With
Yeah,
probably being the first. And that's great. I mean, we're very fortunate, to be fans of a school that has those resources to shell out, a little bit bigger the bucks for the, in this conference anyway, to get the guys that they, want, but hopefully last time it didn't really work out with, last year, but, hopefully, Coach Bennett can come in here and kind of earn that money, if you will. And, I'm not saying it has to be the best defense in the conference year one, but
just
can we hold some
not
people? Yeah.
128th in the nation. You can't just be
Yeah.
second to last.
Yeah. Can we hold some people under 30 consistently and maybe
Yeah,
under
just
200
stop
rushing
something.
yards?
Yeah,
Because we've preached on this a lot, but the horses are there as far as talent goes in the stable. And so hopefully Coach Bennett can come in and kind of just, put in his play style, and it'll be a quick change for the better and, and whatnot. So that'll be
hmm
exciting to see. He's definitely getting compensated well. So finally, though, we have some transfer portal good news. I know we kind of had a mass exodus going on, a
yeah,
few
for a
weeks
while.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, but now, I don't think we lost anything too crucial. Obviously we never want to see kids go, but I don't think we, you know, nobody, I think we'll be okay with the ones we lost. And, the ones that we got, though, of course, we got Tyree Thornton, out of Rice, cornerback, as well as Jace Reuter coming in from North
hmm
Carolina. You and I haven't had the opportunity to talk about that yet. So, first, what do you think about the addition of Tyree Thornton?
I think that's it's really good. He had two pretty solid seasons at Rice. He had that one really good game against North Texas in 2019, but I think this is big, because the cornerback position, there's a lot of talent there. I think Gaddy might move to a different part of the cornerback system,
Hmm.
but I think it's going to help in the future. I think he has, pretty sure he has 3 years
Okay.
eligibility left because he's graduating from Rice. I'm pretty sure, and he come here in the summer, so it should be pretty good. Uh, you know, I think it's a great addition. I love getting more cornerbacks because the more you always need more. There's
Hmm.
never enough. Mainly after last year, because you never know what will happen. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like we're getting our secondary is getting better and better. With we got Gaddy, we got Upton Stout. We have Tyree Thornton. We have Logan Wilson. I think he can
yeah,
come in and do some things at a few different areas, and just to name a few. We have a few others. So I think it's slowly starting to get more and
hmm
more talented and more sure-footed in a sense, if you will. And of course, our other transfer, kind of was really big news. I know for a lot of us was the addition of Jace Reuter, out of North Carolina. What are your thoughts on that, man? And what are I know we're a little bit far removed from the breaking news of it all, but whenever
hmm
you first saw that, whenever that was 100% confirmed in your mind, and how did you feel then? And how are you feeling just knowing that someone like he's going to be on our football team next year?
it's more assuring for me it helps me sleep at night knowing that we might have a quarterback that is really talented. He has all of the equipment possible. Um, I saw some of his film from his high school days. Now, of course,
Hmm.
he wasn't playing against the best talent
Sure.
in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, but
Hmm.
North Carolina saw it, and he had a lot of big Power Five offers. It's gonna be really interesting to see how he does under Luttrell and now new head coach, not head coach, new offensive coordinator, quarterback coach Blake Joseph. It's just huge, and it'll bring up more competition, I think, because you
Right.
have Austin Ani. He's redshirt sophomore still. It'll bring out more competition within the
Hmm.
program already, and he has a great arm. I mean, it's awesome to see someone that has this great of an arm. We haven't seen that since Mason Fine. You know, it's going to be very fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm with you, man. I remember I was just whenever I think you were the one who I might have saw it up when you I can't remember, but it was I remember we talked real back and forth real briefly of just oh my gosh, how I can't believe it. And if you haven't already, the guy, he's a friend of the show, both him, Steven from QB Spotlight and Eric Henry, they do a good job and they talked on Jace Reuter. And what Steven mentioned was pretty interesting. He was in a contested battle with Sam Howell, who Sam Howell will be a, future first round draft pick
Oh yeah.
potentially. And, Sam Howell was under the coaches that recruited him where Jace wasn't. And just the fact that that was as, you know, as good of a battle as it was QB wise. And, Jace ultimately got hurt, which kind of took him out of any type of the running, obviously when you're injured. But, it's just, we're getting a guy who battled with a really marquee quarterback in the
hmm
nation, and just having that extra experience in the room, and I mean, I think we'll go into that in a second, but not just as far as the quarterback experience in the room, but what we expect to see on the field potentially. But as far as me, the fan in me, and the fan of Seth Luttrell in me it's very much like, okay, like I'm glad that you went out and tried this, and even if it doesn't work, like you kind of got a little bit more respect in my mind
hmm
of just like you went out and tried to go or you did get a QB and a very good QB that everybody thinks at that. So I'm glad to see that it wasn't just like, okay, let's just see what we got. Let's just go roll out with what we got. Not to say that we don't have anything good in Austin Ani or Bryce Drummond or possibly, Amani Gilmore, but just the fact that we went to go get another one,
hmm
just to hopefully spearhead. And, I know we can only speculate and we're just fans and Ani showed a lot of good flashes at times and we're very excited about Bryce Drummond and, Amani Gilmore is a bit of a question mark. So we'll see. But all that being said, what are you thinking and expecting to see from Jace Reuter coming in the summer? You thinking he's going to start game one, and or I mean, you think that's what they're bringing him in for?
It's so hard to tell, because spring ball is about to start up, and I want to see how Austin Ani looks. Because
Right.
if he's balling out, then you never know what will happen. He could really just take over and compete and sweep the job over.
Hmm.
But I would expect him to play at some point. I would
Yeah.
expect him to start at some point.
Yeah.
I hope we don't do a 2 quarterback system. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we won't be doing a 2 quarterback system with the actual QB coach here this year. But I mean, I expect him to play a lot of games. It just depends
Yeah.
on the competition, and you never know what could happen. You could see Casey Martin starting week 1. You know,
Never know. Sure.
you just don't know what will
Yeah.
happen. And I'm hoping that when he gets here, he's all ready, and he's under the system a little bit, because he had a little bit of the system at North Carolina, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he was recruited by Fedora, the
Yeah. I think you're
former head
right.
coach there.
Yeah.
So he has the experience under the system that South Central likes to run. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I think that he should be very impactful. Not just this year;
Yeah.
he could be impactful next year.
Yeah.
Considering he has 4 years of
4 years.
eligibility,
He
four
could.
years. That's
That is
crazy.
exciting. Yeah.
And he's not injury prone. That's what I was
Yeah.
told. He's not injury. It was just a freak
Yeah.
accident
Yeah.
that shouldn't have happened, and he's gonna be really good. And
Yeah.
yeah, and someone
And
was trying to compare this to when we went out and got Alec Morris from
yeah.
Alabama, the
Yeah.
quarterback in 2016. He was a fifth year. Now I was like, no, he was a fifth. Alec Morris was a fifth year senior.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically done with his college football career. I won a national championship, all of that.
Yeah.
This guy, he's wanting to prove he can do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Something to prove.
and I don't think he'll go out there and perform like Alec Morris did week 1
Yeah.
against SMU.
Yeah.
I just don't think he will.
I don't see that happening either per se. What I would kind of like to see, and I know the coaches lingo always has to, be fair, and everybody's got to earn their spot, and I understand that and agree with that and get that and everything. But I would kind of like to see the depth chart work out in the spring, and whoever is first during the spring, if that's Ani, if that's Gilmore, if that's Bryce, have your 1, 2, 3s or whatever in the spring, and then when Jace gets here, maybe let him cut the line a little bit and have him compete with that, whoever the number 1 guy is. And let's see, you know what I mean? Let's maybe split the reps between number 1 in the spring and Jace coming in the summer, and see who separates themselves there. I think I personally would I have no idea how they will do that. But I would like to see something like that, I guess, maybe I'm kind of wanting to see, Jace Reuter be the starter day 1. That would be exciting to see that. And obviously our first game is a very winnable opponent in, Northwestern State.
They're awful.
Yeah.
We're going to see 3 quarterbacks. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, and that's
we're
cool.
Gonna see,
And
unless something really bad happens, we're probably going to see 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They're just awful.
Yeah, I would love to see 3 QBs, and then, going into SMU, that'll be
that's going to be the test. And it feels like every other year when we play at SMU, it's always, because 2017 it's the FCS opponent, then at SMU. 2019 FCS opponent at SMU. 2021 FCS it's all bad FCS opponents, and then at SMU. It's just it's not really fair to us, but I don't care. I'd like to play SMU. It gives you the real taste of competition. It shows who is meant to be here and who's not. We found out that in 2019 when Nick Harvey got completely exposed by SMU's receiving core, and we found out how that season might go. We didn't think it would go that way, but the SMU game is really telling, because SMU's not as good. They're not going to be as good, but then at the same time they could be as good. So it's going to be a big test. It's going to be a big test for Jace, because you're going against a real defense.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Guys
that are transferred in for Power 5, because SMU, they get all their Power 5 opponents, and they bring all their players in, and it should be very telling. I'm excited.
And just so I don't think a loss to SMU this year, would be, oh my gosh, we're up in arms, the season's over, by no
unless
means.
It's really bad.
That's
year,
what
last year it was like, well, this might be really bad, because it was at home, and you don't lose that bad at home.
That was a beat down. Yeah. So, hopefully we can, if not surprise, get that upset win, keep it a manageable game as we enter,
a really rough stretch.
Yeah, a really rough stretch. And, get a little momentum and steal a few wins in those first half of the season, then go into our back half with momentum, hopefully. And, we'll see how the chips fall. And, another surprise signee, out of Nacogdoches, and our current second highest rated recruit, kind of came out of nowhere in Dylan Williams, the safety. That was, 24/7 didn't even have him ranked. And I remember I asked you, like, man, this guy's not even ranked. What's kind of the big deal? And in a sense, you told me to check the film, and I did. And man, he can really play. And then it was like a few hours later, they ranked him at like a 0.85 something, and he's our second highest rated recruit, behind Caleb. And it's just like, good Lord, man, like that's exciting news, dude. Like, what are your thoughts on that addition? And do you think Phil Bennett had a big say so in that, or?
I think he had a big say in that because Phil Bennett was from what I heard, he was a great East Texas recruiter, and Nacogdoches is in East Texas. So
Right.
I was like, this it seems right, and he's a really fast, hard hitting safety. It's going to be big, even though he might not be playing a lot in 2021. But the safety position is kind of shallow too. There's only about 3 or 4 on the depth chart or 4. I think it's too deep a deep position. That's not deep enough.
Yeah.
And I think he could really compete for this next year, and I'm excited. It was really surprising too because I didn't think that would be happening. I think he was previously committed to a junior college. Is that right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think it was Trinity Valley,
Trinity
Navarro or
Valley.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, it kind of shocked me. I was like, he was going to a junior college, and then all of a sudden, he's going to North Texas. It's like, no,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Super cool. And then, another one, kind of a surprise get, Rod Brown, the defensive tackle. I forget what high school he's out of. But he was, once committed to Army and,
He was from South DFW. It's oh shoot, I forgot now.
Yeah.
I know it was somewhere down, not really near Denton. So, but it's still in DFW.
Yeah, and he was an Army verbal commit for quite some time, and kind of flipped to us last second. And I don't know too much about him as of yet, but again, a welcome addition, nevertheless. And just kind of, it's good to see Coach Bennett hitting the recruiting ground pretty aggressively, even though he hasn't been here for a full off season. And and do you happen to know? I think we have at least 3 scholarships left for this 21 class. Is that right?
We have 18 commits on the 24/7, and then we have like 4 transfers that add to the list. I'm pretty sure. Is that right? 4.
Let me check. I got it up right here. So yeah, we got 18 signed, and then
I'm
we
not
have
sure how many you get, but
1, 2, 3, 4.
with the
Yeah.
people coming back, I'm pretty sure it's lower. So I think we have I'm pretty sure it's 3 or 4.
Okay. So
From
yeah,
what I've seen, I could be completely wrong, but
yeah,
with the people coming back, I think it kind of like takes away from the scholarship count. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I'm assuming, and that's what I've kind of seen a little bit. I'm just kind of putting the pieces together. But I also heard that with people coming back, it's going to hurt the 2022 class.
Yeah.
A lot. And there's not going to be enough scholarships for some of them. And I feel really bad because people are going to be going from, they could be a Power 5 caliber. They're going to be going to the FCS level possibly.
Yeah.
Because there's not
Definitely.
enough scholarships. And that's crazy.
It happened with the
that.
21 class. It'll happen with the 22 class, unfortunately. And hopefully by the 23 class, things kind of level off. But, fingers crossed we hold on to, Vincent Page in our 22 class. So
that would be huge. And I absolutely love what I've seen from him. And speaking of, he went to Geyer before. I know he transferred. I'm kind of connecting Geyer with 2023 guy Peyton Bowen.
Oh yeah.
He got an offer actually today from Georgia Tech. He's pulling in offers. He's going to be really good. I bet you he'll be a 4-star by his junior year.
Yeah. And, so obviously with G5 football and Conference USA football, our recruiting really isn't done. And really a lot of college football is kind of going this way, but it isn't done until summer, sometimes midway through the summer. So, any specific spots would you like to see, if there is those 3 spots, go to as far as position wise? Do you want to see them to go to high school kids? Do you want to see more transfer portal kids? What would you like to see?
Well, I mean, position wise, I would like to see offensive line. Anybody transferring in to offensive line. I mean, with Farrell, very questionable. We don't know what will happen with him.
Yeah.
Most likely. It would be just a little bit helpful to get another transfer. High school, it's just kind of hard because a true freshman starting on an FBS team, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I think it would be better for like a really good FCS guy. Like a few years ago, we had Riley Mayfield from Abilene Christian. He was a terrific addition. He was one of the best the right tackles I've ever seen at this school. Just a guy like him that has the experience. It would be more assuring with the offensive line. And then they're going to be great next year. I think they'll be great. But it would be a little bit more assuring with another guy, maybe even tackle. And then I mean, everything else is fine. I would see maybe linebacker or uh, that's why I think I don't
Yeah.
have anybody else. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think high school it will probably come along, but I think getting more of the transfer portal kids would be more beneficial in the end.
Hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I pretty much agree with you. Who wouldn't like to see an offensive weapon come in? Though, maybe it will, maybe it won't. And but, I think we need O linemen and really. I mean, I do feel good with what we have right now. So I really kind of feel like anything beyond this is kind of icing on the cake. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, I want some more icing. But so yeah, I think we're in a good spot, and it'll be interesting to see where those last three spots go. But I think Miles. I mean, I think that pretty much covers it all. Anything else we need to touch on?
I just love seeing all the offers being thrown out
So do
recently.
I.
It's
So do
so many
I.
offers. I love it because
Yeah.
a lot of those guys are really good. I've
Oh
watched some
yeah.
of their film that they have in their bio and all that, and it's really they're really solid players. Like Peyton Bowen, the one I was talking about
Yeah.
earlier. He's going to be really good in the
Hmm.
future. But yeah, it's fun seeing them pass out more offers, and
Yeah.
we've been needing to do that for a while. Because one point, I don't think we even passed out any offers for a while. I don't know if that was against the
Hmm.
violation of NCAA. I don't know, but
Yeah. I
I
don't
just
know
know that
either.
recently, I guess it was after the signing day, everything just started going out, and
Yeah.
that was my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's always exciting stuff, but, well, hey, Miles, once again, I always appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
coming on, and I love, being able to talk North Texas football with you. And, there's a lot to be excited about. So, I know we're both excited, and I hope everybody
Oh
else is.
yeah,
And yeah. And, once again, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and, let us know what you think. I mean, as far as what, the things that we talked about, I mean, do you think Jay Sweeter is going to come in and start? Give me a Y for a yes and an N for no. And, where would you guys like to see these last scholarships go position wise? And, we love hearing from you guys. So, always let us know what you think in the content or in the comments below. And Miles, once again, thank you so much, and look
yeah.
forward to doing this
Thanks.
again.
Mm-hmm.